Good day, race fans! I'm Unsilent, and we're on the air with more Grand Prix 2, the 1996 racing sim about the 1994 Formula One World Championship. And we have reached the final quarter of the season. We started with round 13, the Portuguese Grand Prix from the Autodromo de Estoril, just under 2.6 miles long. If you've seen my Let's Play of Formula One 2013 Classics Edition, you would have seen this track in a pretty similar state. If you look at the sort of top just right of center, you can see that the red of the track gives way to a right and a very sharp hairpin left. Well, that wasn't in the F1 2013 edition. That kind of slows the track down. But it is generally a very fast, very flowy, very fun track. I quite liked Estoril in F1 2013. I quite liked it in Grand Prix 2 as well. Two very good overtaking opportunities. Turn 3 is a hairpin after two very fast 90-degree rights. And then on the end of the back straight, turn 6, that hairpin, the parabolica interior. So, 7 as well. 7 is a pretty good overtaking opportunity. Not as long of a straight, but a pretty good sharp turn there. And we will take a look at one lap of Estoril in Grand Prix 2, because this track layout, as I mentioned, wasn't in F1 2013. So here we go, down the front straight, charge into turn 1. That's all it's called, turn 1. Just a little breathe of the throttle, and a little less of a breathe of the throttle through turn 2. Down to turn 3, the first of the hairpins. You can make a good dive bomb underneath someone there. Into turn 4, the Curva VIP, which is a very important one because it shoots you off the back straight. Charge down the back straight through the dogleg right turn 5, and then brake late as you dare for turn 6, probably your best overtaking opportunity on the track. You can make a go of it into turn 7 here, which is a just over 90-degree right, which you can see the old part of the track straight ahead there as we go by it, through turn 9 here, and then turn 10, equally slow left-right combination, through 11, 12, the 11 and 12 are the S's, and the Parabolica Ayrton Senna turn 13, which ends the lap. You need a good run through here because it sets the tone for this lap and the following lap. So setting up your car to take advantage there is the key to fast lap times. Kind of like that 86-second lap that I did there. But before we get into racing action, a look at the Drivers' Championship for our Grand Prix 2 1994 season. David Couthard's already clinched the title, so that's done and dusted. The battle is for second. Schumacher and Hill level on points, but Schumacher has the count back from his one race win. Jean Lacey 4 points behind that. I'm playing as Eddie Irvine in P5, 10 points behind Lacey. The good battle is also for P7. Ukyo Katayama in the Tyrrell, 9 points. Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren on 8 points. So watch out for that one. On the Constructors' Championship, Williams clinches the title. Then you've got Ferrari in P2, Benetton in P3, Jordan, that's my team, in P4. And then that battle between Katayama and Hakkinen, Tyrrell and McLaren, just 1 point apart there as well. So that's the only battle left in the World Constructors' Championship. Really worth keeping an eye on, but you never know. Ligier and Footwork might have a battle before the season is over as well. So that is kind of that. The World Constructors' Championship is pretty well done and dusted, unfortunately, but there's still some good battles on the driver's side. On to Friday qualifying. First out lap, first fast lap became an in lap. I just completely blew it at turn 4. Before I was even slowed down in the gravel, I'd already said I'm coming into the pits and putting on new tires. So I came out for my first flying lap and set a 1:26.671. So pretty close to what I did in the morning warm-up that we saw for the one-lap tour. But it's only good for P5. But my big problem was here, turn 9 and then turn 10. So slow. I had not set my car up for the low-speed corners. I wanted to get good runs out of these turns to get some speed down the straight. So I had to kind of figure out a good compromise of the setup. And let's just ignore me going off at turn 12 there. And figured out a good compromise setup. I can still be fast in the fast corners, especially here at 13, but also fast in the slow bits, and I managed to get it right here for my flying lap. It's a 1:23.485, 3.2 seconds faster than my previous fastest time, and by God, wouldn't you know, that was also my fastest time of the whole weekend. I did not touch anything in the 23s for the rest of the weekend. So that's just go straight to the starting grid for the Portuguese Grand Prix. 18 laps, 1/4 race distance. I'm on pole as Eddie Irvine, 1.2 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher in the Benetton Ford. It's an all of Williams, row 2, David Coulthard and Damon Hill. Row 3, Jean Lacey in the Ferrari alongside Mika Hakkinen, looking to claw his way up in the driver's standings in P6. Ukyo Katayama right behind him in the Tyrrell, and my teammate Rubens Barrichello in the second of the Jordan Hart in P8. Gerhard Berger in the second Ferrari. P9, Johnny Morbidelli. Car 10, P10. I love saying that. The first of the footwork Fords. Johnny Herbert, he's always dangerous the farther up the grid he is in P11. And Pierluigi Martini, the first of the Minardi Fords, sitting in P12. Row 7 is Andrea de Cesaris in the first of the Sauber Mercedes, alongside a pretty good effort for Olivier Panis in the Ligier Renault. We know he's got a lot of speed in that car. Can it translate to some good race pace? Eric Coma in the LaRousse Ford, P15, alongside Michele Alboreto in the second of those Minardi Fords. Row 9, Jos Verstappen in the second of the Benetton Fords, alongside Mark Blundell in the second Tyrrell, Martin Brundle in the second McLaren, and the second Sauber behind Tyrrell Frentzen. We see the teammates farther back on the grid are the slightly faster drivers who we've seen all in the top 8. I don't know if that's a flaw in the programming or what the deal is, but they were all generally better than that during the actual 94 season. Row 11, Christian Fittipaldi before he made his jump to IndyCar, or Champ Car, call it what you will. Eric Bernard well behind his teammate. His teammate's 14th. He's 22nd in the second of the Ligiers. Alex Zanardi, Olivier Beretta on row 12. Row 13, it's David Brabham in the Simtek Ford. And P26 shotgun on the field, Jean-Paul Belmondo in the Pacific Ilmor. The warning horn goes, the engines come to life, it's race time in Grand Prix 2. 4 red lights. The revs come up, we bring the noise, and green, green, green for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And a lightning start out of P2 for Michael Schumacher. Well, he's always quick off the start, and I'm always shit at the start. But we've only lost one position off the start as we come up behind Schumacher. A little slow he is into turn 3, so I get up right behind him. Take it nice and easy, looking for a good run onto the back straight out of 4. Get on the gas. Oh, we've gone off 2 wheels onto the grass. Let's Coulthard by. As we go down the back straight, we'll take a peek up the inside. Discretion is the better part of the valor. You can't win a race on the first lap, but you sure can lose it, so we'll let DC hold on to that for the moment. Now at the end of the first lap, coming out of turn 12, we've got a good run on DC. Try not to run over the back of him through turn 13. Duck down to the inside. Thanks to a little slipstream and some good downforce, we get by into position number 2 at the end of the first lap. At the end of that second lap, though, set the fastest lap of the race ahead of Schumacher. Just not quite quick enough to get by him on the front straight and have to really back out of it into turn 1 and lose us all sorts of time in that charge to turn 3 hairpin. And then kind of run wide, trying to catch him up a little too quickly as well. But at the end of lap 4, we're right in the slipstream of Schumacher. Not as good in the slow bits, but in turn 13, we've got all the speed in the world. We'll duck up the inside 197. The Speedo tops out as we go into turn 1 and take the position ahead of Schumacher. But as I said, I wasn't very good in the slow bits, so you can see all sorts of out of shape in 9 and 10 there. And that's let Schumacher and DC get up behind me. But by bunching them together, I've gotten them to infight just a little bit. Schumacher and Coulthard side by side in turn 1. Then Schumacher pinches DC down and takes the advantage. But he's not going to hold on to it forever. That Williams is blindingly fast, and DC goes up the inside into turn 6 and claims second position for his own. Shortly after that, Andrea de Cesaris, his engine goes up in a puff of flames and smoke. Oh, no. Yeah, that's all I have to say too, was oh no. And de Cesaris is out of the race. Shortly thereafter, Christian Fittipaldi in the footwork. Oh, there goes his car. He pulls it off to the side. It's a transmission failure that put Fittipaldi out of the Portuguese Grand Prix. And we're on to lap 8, fast forward a little bit, and just bottle it at turn 9. Try and take it very slow through 10. And at the halfway point, well, it's not looking great, it's not looking bad, but 1.7 seconds, there it is, 1.7 seconds ahead of DC for the lead. As we go in onto the second half of the race, can I hold on for another 9 laps? Well, lap 13, it sure looks like I won't. Power slide, I'm looking like Ken Block through turn number 10. As we charge towards the S's, here's the look from the exterior cam. Yeah, we get some opposite lock going. We get some tire smoke, Formula D happening on the Estoril Circuit. I knew they put in that little cutout there for a good reason. I'm down to just 0.8 seconds over DC, and you can see just ahead, Brabham in the Simtech. I'm coming up on lap traffic with 5 laps to go. As here we go a little later in the lap as we're coming down to turn 10. It's a slow enough turn as it is. You see me going down at 30 miles per hour to keep from running over the back of the Simtech and the Pacific ahead of him. As we come through 12, I'm just looking to try and just shoot myself out of 12 and through 13 quite well. Trying not to run over the back of the Simtech, dive it down to the inside, scrub off a little speed, go into the slipstream of the Pacific, and then duck back out and take care of both back markers in one straight. And if you look in the mirror in the right side of the screen, DC gets blocked by the Pacific. And we'll take a look at it on the replay, and that Pacific, Belmondo, just holds up DC through turn 1 and a little bit through turn 2, and now Schumacher gets blocked before getting by into turn 3. So that helped out quite a bit, to the tune of almost 2 seconds of an advantage that those boys gained me. Thank you very much, Mr. Brabham, Mr. Belmondo. Lap 17, this time it's Olivier Beretta, and I try to I'm a little anxious to get by him quickly, and I nearly get my nose chopped off as we come down the back straight towards turn 6. Beretta's in the middle of the damned road, so I can't go by him. I'm going to look up the outside. No. So we're going to have to try the up and under and a lot of slipstream to get by him down the straight towards turn 7. But that scrubbed a little bit of time off me, but not too much time off me as here we come through 12. On the final lap, it's turn 13. Keep it right in the middle of the road. Don't risk running it wide or hitting the curb. And here we go across the line. It's victory in Grand Prix 2. And here are the race results. Yes, it's official. I didn't cheat to win. No penalties, no disqualifications. Victory is mine by 2.4 seconds over DC. Just behind him, Michael Schumacher. Hill well back in P4. Jean Lacey taking the points for P5. And Mika Hakkinen taking the last points for position number 6, tying him with Katayama, who finished 11th. Panis had a good day, up to 9th. Morbidelli up to 8th. Herbert to 10th. My teammate Rubens Barrichello, I'm winning. He's in 12th. And we've already seen the lap markers. 3 cars completed the race, but not on the lead lap. Beretta, Brabham, and Belmondo. And in the last 2 cars, we saw Fittipaldi and De Cesar both retiring transmission and engine failures, respectively, taking them out of the Grand Prix. On to the World Driver Standings, and Schumacher takes a 1-point lead for second. Just behind him is Hill. Lacey, 6 points behind Schumacher. And I'm in Eddie Irvine, 8 points back of Schumacher. I'm right in this one. As I mentioned, a little spoiler earlier, Katayama and Hakkinen tied for position number 7. We'll see that carry over to the next screen in just a moment. But yeah, I thought I was completely out of it for clawing my way up the championship battle. Now I'm finding my rhythm in the second half of the season. Could I make my own charge for position number 2 in the World Drivers Standings? On to the Constructors Championship. It's a little close for P3 now. 3 points separating myself and Jordan and the Benetton Ford team. And it's a tie for P5. Tyrrell and McLaren tied on 9 points each. But count back goes to Tyrrell. Katayama's second place at the Pacific Grand Prix in the second race of the season certainly benefited him quite a bit, because that's what's got Tyrrell ahead of McLaren at the moment. And the next round of the 1994 Formula One World Championship. It's the 14th round, the European Grand Prix. It was supposed to be the Argentine Grand Prix from Buenos Aires, but that track was not ready on time, so they switched it to Spain, the Jerez Circuit, one that we also ran in the F1 2013 Classics Edition. a little different, a little chicane there to slow the cars down. I don't like them slowing the cars down, but we will see this next time on Grand Prix 2. That's not for 3 weeks though, so until then, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Share on social media. Follow on social media. The social media handle is Unsilent On Air for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. Don't forget you can check out more Grand Prix 2 in the playlist. It's on the screen in the description down below. More videos anytime on the channel page. And until the next time, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time.